All right, is this better? For some reason my phone was stuck and I thought you guys could see me, but it all didn't work out. Every now and again I guess you have some technical difficulties. Is anybody out there? Am I the correct direction now? All right. Thank you, Sandy. I'm sorry if I made everybody seasick right then. All right, so I'm gonna flip you around. Yes, and it worked well yesterday when I got, this is the new device again. It worked well yesterday when I was doing it. And I'm gonna blame it on my son, not me, because he was practicing with it. And it took me a good 20 minutes before I came on my walk to even remotely get it to the way I wanted it to be. So, sorry about that. I sent Sandy a picture yesterday, a video, I'm not going to share with everybody, of my husband trying it. And if you think this was bad, the last one, him trying it was even worse. So here's the wild peony. That's a rental house that I know a lot of people like. Yes, and Lida Joan, whoops, Peters, Ocracoke Observer crowd there. So here we go. Hey Kay, your house is looking good. Trying to get there. It looks beautiful with those flowers especially.
Thank you.
And here it looks like maybe a covered garden or a house in progress. I don't know. And there, if you look all the way through, you can see the other side to where Bob lives. So we're going to turn back around. Everybody's got gardens. Kay was working on that. This is a pretty wheelbarrow with the geraniums in it. And I see a sunflower. And gosh, Mary's doing all sorts of pretty stuff. Peter's wife, Mary, had started working with us at the Village Craftsmen. And was there for all of about 3 days before we had to shut down due to the COVID thing. So we are back. I had somebody just join, Michaeline. We're back in Wigeon Woods now on the Down Point side of the island. And maybe I'll do a quick jaunt back. I don't want to bore anybody, but I might delete that last video if it was really seasickening, and I can do a little quick jaunt back to the other side. Whoop. Oh, I like it when I can see it the right direction. So here we go. I'll delete that last video, maybe, if I can figure that out. And share what down point means. Who asked that? Sandy, yes. I'm betting Bill and Lida, if they're out, are going to want to say hi again. So let me post a picture of them. And then, I was sideways when I came by last. So you have to stand up, Lida, and let us see your haircut again. I see Bill doesn't have a haircut. There we go. Bill volunteers down at the Preservation Museum and was the president at the museum for a while. And Lida is his handy, trusty sidekick with a beautiful haircut. I was sideways last time, so I'm going to go back down there. I just couldn't figure it out. Whoops. Hey, Liz. All right, I'll see you guys. Whoop. So here we go, back down again. I feel like this is deja vu. So yeah, the difference between Down Point and Round Creek, that it dates back to pre-1930, when there was it was called a gut. It was actually a little tidal inlet that divided the island, and it ran right about where Highway 12 is, out from the harbor towards the variety store. That's about where the gut was. And people who lived on the lighthouse side of the gut were pointers. They lived down point. And people who were on the left-hand side, or the opposite side, the school side of the gut, were creekers. They lived round creek. So, I will see if I can find a link that my dad wrote in a blog or newsletter about the difference between those two, so that you can actually read and get a little more history about them. So we're gonna have to say hi to Bob again too. And he's got gorgeous gardens and expanding it. All right, Bob. We were sideways when I came by last, so I'm doing it all over again. My phone hadn't righted itself. So say hello to everyone again. And you've gotten a long way on your garden, right?
Look, the stuff's already grown.
Stuff's already grown. Let's see. Gotta figure out. I won't get too close to you. Oh, wow.
I have orange zinger tomatoes that I got to plant.
Orange zinger?
Orange zingers. Ask John Ivy. He's the orange zinger specialist.
Are they big or little?
They're like ping pong ball size.
Huh. And tangy?
They're tangy.
All right.
Little tomatoes. They're really good.
Huh. I'll have to come by and check it out when you get closer.
I've got more seedlings than I have
Space. David's looking for tomatoes. Awesome. Thank you. So, everybody's saying hello, by the way. There's a rental. Yep, Bob was saying he does have Ride the Wind open. But obviously he's not running it right now. He's got somebody there. So, here we go. The beautiful marsh view. And I'm not going to the end of this road because it's a private drive and I don't want to interfere, trespass, all that good stuff. But you can see the beautiful blue sky and the nice clouds. It's just gorgeous. So here we go, back around. There are some birds. I had a question, any birds? I don't see any right now, but a friend of mine lives out on the marsh, and she's been posting great pictures of green herons and night herons and egrets. She's got a really good eye. She runs Trixie's Fineries and is in charge of the artwork for Eduardo's. And Cynthia, I see you responding. You live out on the marsh too. I think there used to be an ibis roosting spot right behind your house somewhere out there for a while. When my mom lived on Lighthouse Road, down point, as we've learned, we used to love to sit out on the back deck and watch the ibis fly over in the evening and go to their roosting spot. So here we are, the ditches again. When they get high, you know, you need to start to watch and think about moving your car. But right now they're a very nice height. And I went out to the beach this morning. It was lovely, lovely out on the beach. It's just really calm. It looked almost like the sound out there. It was so calm. So now we're going to go back. For those of you who just joined, we're on Wigeon Woods. Little dirt road, a few rentals, a few private homes back here. And it's right off of what I call the Lighthouse Loop Road. And I'm not sure, I think it's officially called Loop Road. And for those of you who've seen me talk before, I don't always know the names of the streets. I took some needles over to a homeowner today. She broke a needle, and I asked her which house it was, and she told me, and I actually had to look it up on Google Maps, I'm embarrassed to say, to make sure I was going to the right house because I didn't know the name of the street. I didn't know what the name of the street was that she was talking about, where it was. So this is the exit from Wigeon Woods. It is a two-way street, but you need to be really careful. It's got a little blind curve around there. So if you do rent down here or drive down here, you need to be very aware. Hey, Chester. You want to say hi to my Facebook crowd? Do you want to say hi to the Facebook crowd? You're on live Facebook. This is Chester. He's the fig king of the island.
Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay.
I had a question. I know some of your fig trees didn't survive.
They cut 2 of them to the ground, and there weren't nothing wrong with them. They cut them to the ground, and the cedar tree on the other end of the house, I've been trying to get cut years, they didn't cut them. They cut the fig trees because they dropped their leaves and thought they were dead. They were fine. They just...
Well, maybe the roots will stay and they'll come back. Oh, good, good. That's good. Well, enjoy your day, Chester.
Thank you now.
There you go. Chester has Annabelle's Florist at the end, well, not at the end, basically across the street from the clinic. And it got very, very badly damaged. And he said he was sitting on his bed when the storm came through and his shoes came floating by, and he grabbed his cane to try to grab his shoes. So at least he would have something to put on his feet and not have to evacuate out without any shoes on, because you never know what's in that water that gets floating by. So in this, got a little loopy here. It's a cute little house. There was a building right on that location, and they had to tear it down because it was too badly gone, but they kept the same footprint. And then Dorian did push their shed up, and it was all angled oddly, but they've got that fixed. And I always love little Daisy and Lum's private home. Very pretty. She's always got a very pretty garden as well. And lots of clover. You can smell the clover in the air, and the jasmine. They're really getting a lot of work done up here on their house. They got very badly flooded as well. Mary Frances is actually, somebody asked about the Mary Frances cottage. That's actually on Creek Road. This is a little Mary Jane. It's Mary Jane's house down that direction. I had to stop and think. Mary Frances, Mary Jane. There are a bunch of Fanny Pearls on the island. I have to stop and think which one's which. But yeah, that was the Mary Jane, I believe, is down that street. I almost went down there. But this one, I think it's a rental, and they've got a lovely big fig tree in front of their place too. Hey, I'm enjoying listening to you. You're sounding good. And this is where Portsmouth Island boat tours and ATVs, this is their home base. Great way to go see Portsmouth Island. It's really a special experience to go over there. So I highly recommend it. You do need bug spray though, because if you don't have bug spray, you'll be very upset. I also recommend long sleeves and loose fitting long pants, just to be on the safe side. Here's my friend Jen's house. She's doing a lot of work on that. A lot of work to go yet. She was Airbnb-ing it. I don't know if it's going to get ready in time for June Airbnbs, but they're working hard on it. And then we've got a little seating area here for Springer's Point, if you're waiting for somebody to pick you up. Little area in here so you can take your bikes back there. There's a bike parking back there. I'm not going to go back. I know everybody's waiting for Springer's Point. I'm not going to go back there yet. There is no parking here. Absolutely no parking. No golf cart parking. This is the little sign they've made. No parking in driveways. No parking alongside the road. No golf carts. No regular cars. You can bike or walk. You can hire somebody to bring you down. Javier will often bring people down and drop them off. There are a number of different ways you can do it, but it's a lovely, I think sometimes the Assembly of God Church, or the, forget what they've changed the name to, Life Saving Church, for donation you can park there sometimes. So that's the way to get to Springer's Point, and it is a beautiful little space down there. The benches are a nice little addition, so if you walk from somewhere, you can sit down before you walk the rest of the trail out, or vice versa. I love seeing how the roses peek through on either side. Another pretty garden. Teach's Treasure. There's a little rental here. And an even tinier Teacher's Chest, or Treasure Chest. And then Margaritaville, I've got friends that rent that little blue house there. It's lovely. And you've got Soundside access if you rent there, which is nice. You rent through the Ocracoke Harbor Inn, I believe. I've got friends that it's the only place they stay when they're on the island. And the Cove, it looks like they're doing a lot of work. I'm sure they got a lot of water in there. So the Cove is working on getting their place back up and running. Looks like they're getting a new septic tank, maybe. This rental house here had a privacy fence that got taken down in Dorian. They've got water access too, as does this one. Little Soundside Beach, so your own little private beach where you can kayak or canoe or just wade, look for scallops or clams, little fish, glass. And then this was where it was Maxine Mason's house, and Jenny and Mandy were living there. It was Jenny's grandmother, and it was a very sad day when Maxine's place had to be taken down. My granddad always loved Maxine, loved her smile. She had a very infectious smile. You just taking a walk, Dallas? Yeah? And Dallas, who just walked down into his driveway, is an incredible drummer. If you ever get a chance to listen to the Rockers play with him on drums, you will be amazed. He does a great, incredible job. And he's been doing performances that his mom's been posting on the quarantine time. So every night they'll go and pick a different song, and it's wonderful. And here is a house that was falling into the ground. The Ocracoke Preservation Society Museum purchased it a few years ago with a grant from, a bequest actually. The Beveridge, Geraldine Beveridge, I believe was her first name, left money to OPS to help save old houses on the island. It was a wonderful way to leave a legacy, to try to preserve some of those old homes. And that, the requirement, whoever bought it had to fix it up to historic standards. So they did that, and it was very nice. And here are the cottages that Della, right across the street from Della. This is Della's house. Some people have asked about Della. This used to be Owen's Veggies there, Della's husband. And Della is not in her home yet. It got severely flooded and they're working on trying to get it back up and habitable again so that she can get back into her home. She's got the sweetest little smile. Can everybody still see me? I see one person lost video. I'll go down here eventually. I don't think I've been down here yet. And I'll walk down there and see if we can go see the sound side here, the sound front end at some point. And this was where just a couple weeks ago, a house got taken down here. Haunted house, I will say.
It's the Amy Show.
It's the Amy Show. You want to say hello?
Shout out to Charlotte, Waterford, VA.
Woohoo! There we go. Yes, Owen had great tomatoes, all sorts of good stuff. And look at that. That's just, it's pretty out there. Old island home. I'm sure they got flooded as well. I'm not sure what they're doing to fix things up. But we're almost, and you can see here even another graveyard. They're just tucked in absolutely everywhere. Yep, and here we're gonna walk back up to the lighthouse. I know I did it yesterday, but it's just pretty. Every day it looks different, sometimes with the clouds in the background. And you can see the marsh here too. You can definitely tell sometimes when the tide's rising up. So we'll get to where there's a pretty, oh, and here, look who's coming. Can you guys see who's coming? Come on. Well, he was a little shy yesterday, too. Hey, Thurston. There he is. Say hi to the pussycat. And again, the gnarled oak. This is one of my favorite trees on the island. It looks like it was started out as two trees and twisted together into one. Yeah, every single day, the shadows, the cloud textures, the light. I love coming here at dusk, because the sun in the background gives a beautiful, just kind of warm glow to it. A tree marriage. So there you go. Thank you guys for putting up with my sideways show from earlier. And hope you have a lovely day, and I'll figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. It's a surprise every day for me and for you. Thank you guys.